How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Positive Mindset Podcast, where we work together to raise our vibration, lift our perspective, and build a positive mindset. My name is Henry, and in this episode, we're going to talk about how to handle failure. If you look around and see so many people succeeding, achieving, and accomplishing the things that you desire or the things that you think you should be doing, and you feel that emptiness, you feel that sense of lack because you know you can accomplish so much more, but for some reason, you're just not achieving and being the version of you. This is going to be the episode for you because we're going to talk about not only a mindset that can help you shift and get positive energy to start achieving what you desire, but also how you can stop focusing on the lack by seeing what everyone else is doing and really put your attention to you so that you can fill yourself up with energy and power. But before we get started, we're going to take a few moments to slow down, zero in. We're going to take some deep, healing, meditative breaths to help us align on the frequency that we want in our lives. So you can pick a word. It can be love, joy, happiness, abundance, whatever frequency you want, and we're going to take a deep breath in, and as you're breathing in, you're going to say that word over and over and over again. Really charge yourself up with that energy, and then as you're holding your breath, visualize yourself doing something in that frequency, and then once you exhale, anything that no longer resonates with you will leave you, and you'll be in a more positive state. So let's go ahead and take a deep breath in. And out. Well, we're going to do another deep breath. This one is about alignment, about getting ourselves in receiving mode so that we can receive the message that we need to hear today to get us in that positive perspective. So just imagine that you are surrounded by the most healing, uplifting energy that's meant specifically for you. It could have a certain color, a certain taste, a certain smell, however you imagine it, and when you breathe it in, it's going to charge you up. It's going to break down the negativity, the blocks, the weight, everything that's just been holding you back. And then once you exhale, anything that no longer resonates with you will leave you, and you'll be in a more positive state. So let's go ahead and take another deep breath in. And out. So this message is going to be one of those ones that's meant for me. I've been doing some reflecting before this podcast, and this is just what has been sticking with me lately, and I know it's requiring my attention. So if you ever find yourself looking externally, so that could be on social media, it could be with friends and family, your coworkers, just looking outside of you and seeing other people's success and then somehow feeling the lack within you. Maybe it's seeing someone buy a really fancy car, or it's seeing someone get this promotion or date this person, like doing something that to you looks like an accomplishment, and then wondering why you haven't achieved it, or putting yourself down and thinking, well, maybe you're just not good enough to achieve it, or there's something different between you and them, and that's why you can't achieve it. Or the worst part is maybe trying to put them down and say negative things about them in your mind, not necessarily out loud, but bringing them down to kind of even the playing field because they achieve something and it's making you feel a certain type of way. And it's okay to have external motivation. I think it's fine to see someone achieve something that you admire or that you want, but what we don't want to have is negative energy when they do it. We don't want to see someone buy the car of our dreams or live the life of our dreams or achieve whatever it is that we have visioned for us and then think something negative, whether it's we're not enough or they must be doing something bad to achieve the thing that we want that maybe we're not willing to do, and that's why they're able to do it. We have to have love for the accomplishment and then let it go. We cannot let that energy hold us down because it pulls us away from our source energy. Our source is love, is forgiveness, is power. It's not jealousy, envy, hate, any of that anger stuff. It's not what we are. What we need to do is shift our focus. Again, it's okay to have a vision board. It's okay to have external goals, but we have to shift our focus and think about what can we control. If you want to achieve those things, then you have to have a plan in place. And if you're not looking at your plan and then evaluating based on that, on how you're doing, then your energy is in the wrong place. And maybe you don't have a plan. We can talk about that next. But if you have a plan, rate yourself and see, how am I doing on these things? and what can I do better? And that's how I will move forward in life. That plan should take you to achieve whatever it is you desire, but it's not the result that is the reward. The results are great, but it's the action, it's the energy of what we're trying to create that matters. It's being the version of you that can have that thing, not being somebody that has it. And there's a huge difference in that. And that's why social media has been really damaging, I think, for a lot of folks, because so many people, including myself, we tend to put the best parts on social media. We put our highlights, we put the things that are the most inspiring, the most influential, the most attention grabbing. Like, that's what we do. And so if that's what we do, then that's what that is. So start reflecting on, how are my actions? Am I following through with what I said I would do? And if you don't have that, then there's 3 buckets that you really got to focus on. It's your consumption. Are you consuming things that align with what you desire? If you want to be an entrepreneur, how much entrepreneurship content are you consuming? Whether it's books, whether it's workshops, whether it's meetings, like, what are you doing that's coming into your brain, coming into your body, into your spirit, into your energy that aligns with that thing that you're trying to create? And then it's actions. What are you physically doing that is in the frequency of being an entrepreneur? And that's just the example I'm using. It could be anything, but I'm just using an entrepreneur. Are your actions that of an entrepreneur? Are your thoughts in frequency, in flow with that energy that you're trying to create? And then third, your expansion. Are you putting out into the world the frequency that you're trying to bring within you? And you can't do it if you're not doing those 3 things. If you're just putting out a circuit frequency, you might be able to do it for a little while, but then you'll crash and burn because you're not filling yourself up back with that energy. If you're just doing the motions, you're going to find yourself lost because you're not inputting stuff to help you grow, and you're not exporting stuff to help it flow through you. And if you're just bringing it in, if you're just studying, we've met that person that knows it all, but doesn't do anything about it. We can't be just one of those things. And so when you see something externally and you get that feeling inside of you, whether it's jealousy, enviness, or a negative energy like putting them down in your mind, or putting yourself down, or creating scenarios of why they've achieved it and you haven't, don't put your energy there. Focus on the 3 buckets for you. Are you aligned with what it is that you're trying to create? And that's the only competition there is. There is a version of you that lives this life to its ultimate potential. There is an existence where you did everything to the full amount. This is the fullest version of you. Now, you don't have to achieve that to have lived a good life. What we have to do is achieve the process, meaning we're giving it our all to become that person. That's the goal, not actually achieving it. If you do, that's amazing. But achieving it and not achieving it has nothing to do with the quality of you. All that matters is being in the energy of that version of you. So if there's a version of you that exists that accomplishes everything, that becomes this whatever, then how far off are you to becoming that? And you cannot compare to anybody else because nobody can become that. There's not a single person that can have the experience, that can be the you, that can come from the background that you have come from and create this version. There can be similarities. There can be many motivational speakers. There can be many wealthiest people on the planet. There can be many writers. There can be many directors. There can be so many people that do something, but there's only one fullest version of you. And that's the only thing we should hold ourselves to. That's the only standard that we should really reflect on. It doesn't matter what anybody else is doing. All we have to do is raise our vibration and give love in every situation. The version of you that is the utmost, the highest frequency being, that's all they do. They might be super rich, they might be in super good shape, they might be whatever, but their energy, their internal state is that purity of love. Does everything with the thought of service to others, gives excellence in every way, acts as if everybody is watching and learning from them at every moment, even when people aren't, is setting that example at all times. That is the highest version of you. So if you have that feeling, if you're distracted by the external world, if you're looking at people that are doing things faster than you, better than you, making more money, they look better, they act better, like whatever it is that we see externally, just give it love. Show gratitude for the fact that somebody is achieving something that you desire, proving that it's doable. If they can do it, you can certainly do it. You don't have to do it their way. All you have to do is be the highest version of you. That's how we get the fulfillment. You will never be fulfilled accomplishing things based on what other people are doing. You might feel good for the moment when people are recognizing you for it, but as soon as they stop, you're going to feel the emptiness because you achieved something based on what other people thought. You spent energy based on other people's focus, and so you're not going to keep it. It's not going to fulfill the hole in your heart that you're trying to fill, because all that needs is love and service. All you need to be is the version of you that forgives all, that loves all, that makes every situation better, because every situation you're in, you are being the example of what love and forgiveness is. That is the ultimate power, and that is what we're trying to achieve. That is my mission, and I believe that is your mission as well. So let's show love to the success in the world. Let's show respect to the people that are achieving amazing things. And let's show forgiveness to ourselves for the thoughts we've thought about those people, about those situations. Because when we achieve it, we know where our heart is. We know the love that we'll share. We know the forgiveness we share. We'll know the expansion. We know the energy we will give the world when we achieve those things. So let people be. Focus on you, raise your vibration, and be the rising tide that lifts all ships. Well, I hope this episode was impactful. It was one of those ones where I was literally coaching myself in my head, because this is some stuff that I am working through at this very moment. And so hopefully it made sense, because as I was recording it, I was having the conversation in my mind and making sure I was putting out the right words. It was difficult this time, so I really hope it resonated. If you want to make sure you don't miss a single episode, make sure you subscribe to my email list. There's a link in the description. It will keep you up to date with every single episode. And if you want to follow me on social media, there's my Instagram and TikTok down below. Of course, Instagram is the best place for direct messages. So thank you so much for everybody that has reached out to me there and let me know how the podcast has impacted them. That means the absolute world to me. And if you want to join the Positive Mindset Facebook group, there's a link below. We are talking a lot about health, a lot about wellness, but it's really going to start morphing into those three components. And that's what we're consuming, like our inputs, how our actions are resonating with the frequency that we desire. And then, of course, how are we expanding? Are we expanding in a way that keeps us in the frequency that we want to be in? If you want to join that group, the link's right down below. And then if you want more of a one-on-one experience with that, consider scheduling a success session. There's a link down below. It's a 30-minute one-on-one for us to talk about those exact things with your situation and really try to build a positive perspective around it so that you can be the version of you that you desire. Well, thank you so much for listening. Have a great day, and I can't wait to talk to you next time.